Call the council meeting to order. Any of the councillors have any additions to the agenda? Okay. Motion to accept agenda. Campbell and McGowan. All in favor? Carried. Declaration of pecuniary interest, if any. None noted. Okay, we need approval of previous minutes. The Council of the Township of North Huron hereby adopts the minutes of the Planning Advisory Committee meeting held November 3rd, 2014, as printed and circulated. McGowan and Vodden, all in favor? Carried. And that the Council of the Township of North Huron hereby adopts the minutes of the regular council meeting held November 3rd, 2014, as printed and circulated. Campbell and Bailey. Okay. Deputations. All those in favor? Deputations. Well, the first one, Don Pattison has been with us, whether we want to say how many years, a long time, and definitely thank him for his years of service, and that I will make a presentation to Don and request Kelly as well. Where do you want us for this?
Anywhere you guys want, right here in front.
Okay. So, thank you for all the years, Don. Right? Right.
Congratulations, Don.
And moving on to the second deputation, the Wingham Homecoming Committee, so that call the chairman forward, Jason Goodall, please. Are you going to drag the treasurer with you?
I think so. I think you would like to be a part of it.
Okay.
I think we have a little slideshow to show you guys. Thank you for having us. I'm Jason Goodall. Trevor Syke is our head of finance. So thank you to the council for having us. Coming up.
Didn't you do this to you last time?
Yep. Yes. I think she would have learned.
I think she's doing it on purpose.
You should have gave her an envelope.
There it is. Good work. All right. So we're here representing the Wingham Homecoming. We are all wrapped up with our financials, and we had a meeting on October 24th. So this is our committee, and I can't thank these people enough for being a part of it. It was a great committee to work with. There are some missing, Neil. If we go to the next slide, here are some pictures from Homecoming. Our decorating crew, they did an awesome job. Had nothing but positive comments for that. Our setup at the arena was really well received as well. People commented having it at one spot was a really good decision because you could meet and greet people at that spot. And then our store for merchandise. We did a 365 days before homecoming barbecue. That's in the top left. There's a parade picture. I think that's Mr. Zinn. And there's where we are gathering some fencing in Lucknow. So we'd like to thank all the people, Lucknow Kinsman and the Teeswater Horticultural Society for providing us fencing. And here's the big number. So we had as I mentioned, October 24th at the Knights of Columbus Hall, we had a social for sponsors and volunteers. And at this event, we announced our profits, $83,541. So all of the profits have been donated back to the community, which were very good. And here's our breakdown of the profit distribution. Our biggest one was the Wingham Hospital for $20,000. Township of North Huron, $10,000. And the rest you can see. Go on to the next one. This is when we were at the CKNX Healthcare Heroes Radiothon. A whole bunch of us went up there, and as I said, the sense of joy in the building when we announced that we'd be providing that amount of money, that was very infectious. It was quite touching, so we were all pretty happy. And a special thank you to Kelly Church and all of your guys that helped us out, Pat Newsom and your crew, Connie Goodall, Caitlin Bloomberg, and the museum staff and volunteers, and Reed Neil Vincent. He managed to make a lot of our meetings and was a valuable resource to us. And to all of the North Huron staff that supported Homecoming. Thank you. Real big thank you to our sponsors. Here's our platinum, gold, and silver sponsors. These people in town, they get hit with a lot of requests for funding and sponsorship, so we thank them as well. And a big, huger thank you to the volunteers that we had. We had registered over 450, I believe, and probably by the time Homecoming weekend was over, it was over 500. People stepped up and asked if we needed any help. So that's the end of the slideshow. Trevor has a check here. I'll let you.
So, long time way back, we asked for $5,000 of seed money coming from the township. So, as part of the $10,000 that we'd already given, $5,000 is right here for the actual seed money to be repaid to the township of North Huron. So, I'm not sure if Donna or somebody wants to. I'm assuming it's Donna. I'm not sure if somebody else, but.
Yes, we thank you for the show of support and letting us have that money. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much. And they were interesting meetings, and they were proactive. And that, yeah, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do it. And that's what brought in the volunteers, and that it was very gratifying to me to see people, all the people that stepped forward to make it a fabulous weekend. And so that, thank you to all sponsors, volunteers, and the committee.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pauline, would you like a picture of?
I got the camera out.
Do another picture. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, because
I don't think we can say enough about the people that organized this and the event. It was just incredible.
the seed money and the donation, the township definitely thanks the committee.
Is this the photo of the 2004 release?
No, that's the one where the kids were holding up the signs. That's the next meeting.
That's the next committee.
Donna said it was a YouTube picture.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And Donna.
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 The money down. It's a check. Donna has to take it.
You're gonna have to get used to it.
What, getting checks? Connie?
Yes?
You're up here too. You can't be taking a photo.
Here's the check.
You were the township liaison.
Yeah, don't let Donna escape.
Donna, we're going to wait.
Right in the middle.
Got it.
Everything, except for at the end.
Isn't that the best part?
Yeah.
Come here.
Yeah, look at that, right to the back.
Just sort of do a horseshoe type thing. You can't hide it in the back that way.
Jason, you're used to standing.
Come this way, Jason.
That's back.
That's good.
We still got Danny.
Check.
Get a hand up there.
He's a Habs fan, he's a little backwards.
Get a hand up there.
Thank you. No, I'm not walking out this time.
I know where
Have a picture, Donna.
Sporadically. Go ahead. So, we move to a third deputation tonight, and also another pretty good news story. Talking to the Musical Muskrat Festival Committee. Who's taking the lead?
Sure, I will introduce some of the people that are
Okay.
here tonight. Tiffany Brown stepped up and took the chair this year, which we really owe her a great thanks for that, and she's already agreed to do the 2015 event as well. Jim Wickens has been with the festival, as you know, since it started, and he has put in hours and hours of work. And I have to say that I get to the park fairly early on Saturday and Sunday mornings, and Jim is already there, and I leave fairly late the following morning, and Jim and Dan are still there doing things. So like the amount of hours that they put in, the whole committee, but really Jim and Dan and Pam Tiffin, what they have done over the past several years since the beginning of this festival has been amazing. Jillian Underwood is a fairly new, she's been here long enough now, she's almost old hat. And Trevor, no more. No more. Trevor left us.
That's one of the relinquishments.
So, and I just wanted to, the rest of the planning committee are up there. Again, we had some really great new people step forward this year. Melissa Hickey, Ashley Shaw, Bailey Morrison, Kendra Hopper, Greg Pasher, Lindsay Symes, Claire Masnack. Bruce Staten again took on the boat races, as he always does. Richard Al was web design again. So it was really, really great to see a lot of fresh new energy this year. So, and I hope we hadn't missed anybody.
Okay, so a lot of advertising, which Jillian did. Most of it, her expertise, really paid off. Great posters, signs, placemats everywhere. We had so much advertising, which definitely helped our numbers this year to create the event and raise awareness. There were many children's activities, which more and more we get feedback on. So again, for 2015, definitely we'll be having more children's activities. So TD Canada Trust set up an activity tent where they had games on the Friday night. Also at the Legion, they had a kids dance. And then some of the things are up there, JP Magic, the Clown, and the Fireman Games and the Build a Boat, the annual events that normally go on will still remain. So we had some great bands this year. Tommy Gillum and the Chillbillies were on the Saturday night. Stacy Zeger's band and Runaway Angels did the Friday night, which great feedback, and both are really excited if we invite them back for 2015, which we may do that. And yeah, the Fireman Games and the Cardboard Boat Races, definitely great events that bring down all the kids and families.
Last year, our total income was just over $38,000, but our expenses were over $31,000, gave us a total profit of just over $6,000. That numbers could be manipulated a little bit. It doesn't take into consideration the amount that North Huron contributes for all that stuff. And then we're not well, I'll let you go over that for homecoming.
Yeah, and definitely a big thanks to the Wingham Homecoming as they gave us a check for $3,000 to jumpstart our 2015 year. So that's pretty exciting because I think our total sponsorship last year was about 12,000, so that's definitely a good jump to 2015. So we want to thank all of the sponsors, which definitely help us out a lot and our go-to people and help run the event. Thanks to North Huron for all the help, all the volunteers, all the workers, and as Jim said, the expenses that are incurred for it. And we hope to see everybody in 2015 as I'll be taking on chair again. And this will be the 10th anniversary, so we're hoping to make it bigger and better.
Well, on behalf of council, thank you very much to the ones that are working at it. There was definitely a dedicated group that worked on getting it started, but it was something that had to grow and build as it was moving along. So it's gratifying to see the people that dig in and do the work. Thank you very much.
I think the new council should build a boat and put it in each.
They have done that in the past.
I know, it was in the river, I remember it.
Okay.
You could be the outside consultant.
I could. Might get conflict. Be careful.
Moving on to the Reeves report, many meetings and things coming up, training sessions, one thing and another. The one thing that I look at is the Midwestern Day, the 12th of December that's coming up, and I believe that would be a very good day for as many of the councillors to get to as possible. That would be in London, starting at 8 in the morning, so it would be an early start, but it's a very popular day, and one of the things that there's many topics of interest in, it would be good for as many to attend as possible. I'll move on and say the county council report is going to be very short, as a number of the planning things dealing with the surplus farmhouse severances is one of the things that, being that it's about a year that now that we could do them, and that's one of the things that a big part of the surplus farmhouse severances that are happening at the county are out of North Huron at this time. Basically, going to the financial report, councillors have questions or anything on that? Brock?
I move that we accept this report as printed.
Okay. Alderman Campbell, is there any questions? All in favor? Carries. There's a staff report on the 2014 municipal election. I think that tied quite a few things together and that brought costs, how it happened, recommendations for the next time if we were doing the same. That Archie, did you want to make any comments?
No, I think, you know, obviously through Barb's report, there was a few things that, as you'd mentioned, that she would recommend, but overall, I think it went extremely well, and I think kudos to the staff and Kathy in particular. I think, you know, as well as Richard, that organized it in Barb's absence and made sure things needed to be done. And I think it, you know, the sign of the voter turnout, the substantial increase is a good one. And hopefully we can, as a community, build upon that for the next election. And yeah, I think, you know, these are the types of results that we had all hoped we would get when we looked at pursuing this option. So I think it's a good thing.
One of the big things was the number of undeliverables that allowed us to clean up our voters list quite a bit. And I think that probably is one of the big things that will really go forward and help us in the future, was a lot cleaner voter list. Okay. Moving to the request to waive hall rental. Basically, it's from the Hallett Central Public School, and that I think that we actually should follow the recommendation to put this on hold until this policy is considered by the new council. As to when we're looking at next June, I believe we have some time to allow the council to take a look at it, put numbers together as to what's what, and that I think we do actually need a policy on contributing to things that are outside of North Huron, even, and as being able to assess North Huron's participation in something like that as well. I'll ask consensus of council to follow that request. Okay.
I agree.
Okay, I'll take that as consensus. Okay, motion, Bill and Brock. All in favor? Carried. Okay. Moving to Director of Finance, the staff report on Finance Department update. Donna?
Just if there was any questions, I don't have a copy of that. Was there any questions in regard to anything that's outlined in this update?
Actually written off.
Oh,
Two Legion.
the second part?
The second.
Okay, Hallahan, and it's to write off the taxes for the Legions.
Legion.
Seconder, not. Is there any discussion on that? All in favor? Carried. Okay. And we need a motion on the third part for the street decorations, release of fundraising funds from reserves, Bailey and Campbell. All in favor? Carried. Okay. And part 4, snow blower for the daycare, and this is the transfer from reserves, money to make this purchase. Campbell and Vauden. Any discussion? All in favor? Sorry, Bernie, did you have?
Just one quick question. The $900 that was transferred from reserves, was that in the budget or is that just out of reserves?
Out of reserves.
Out of reserves, out of the daycare reserves.
Okay.
And there's 6.4.4, the economic development. One is the staff report on the Alice Monroe LMP project. Is there any questions or comments? Okay, moving to the news release from BIAX on their compostable film, food wrapping film,
And that's just another one for your information.
and it's for information, but basically a good news story. Okay. Moving to the utility department, the staff report. Just if there's questions on it, or?
Okay, yeah, so as far as the staff report, there's, one of the things is, for any new counselors, is the standard of care course that the Water Center puts on, and it, I believe it's a fairly important course for people to go on, just so you are aware of all your responsibilities as far as being the owners of the water system. So, now, two ways we can do it. They're putting it on in Walkerton. If there's, you know, 4 or less planning to attend, then that would probably be the best route to go. Or if there's more than that, then I would look at actually running it locally. It costs about $1,500 to get the trainer down. We'd probably run it at the STC, and we'd ask the neighboring municipalities, because I'm sure there'll be some that are looking for it as well. So anyway, so I said November 30th, but that was kind of a ridiculous date because council, yeah, of course. So if we get to know by the middle of December type of thing, who would be interested in taking part in that course. I have budgeted for it in the 2014 budget, but if it doesn't run until 2015, then we would
Just move it forward.
yes. So, other than that, unless there's any other questions on that report.
Will that course be changed much from when I took it? It's like 5 years ago.
I don't likely it has changed too much now. I think there's been no amendments or anything to that.
Brock?
I would be interested in attending it again if it's local, but I don't want to use up a space if others have not been on it before.
Okay. Yeah, well, and if whoever's wanting to take part, just fire me off a quick email, and I can kind of tally up and see what the neighboring municipalities are doing, and we'll just kind of take it from there.
Bernie?
Just to the 2 new councillors coming in, you are personally responsible for this water. This is not a council will be sued. You're part of this.
Oh,
This
we
is
know.
okay.
Oh, we know.
Been tuned in.
I'm going to suggest you take this one under consideration very.
We've already got the email from Dawn.
It won't be the first time you'll be told.
Not the last.
No.
Okay, so if there's no other questions, then if I could get a motion just to accept the
Report as presented.
So moved.
McGowan and Hallahan. All in favor? Carried.
Okay, the second one is to authorize to proceed with the drilling of the production well in Blythe. We had sent requests out to 5 drillers and fairly tight deadlines on them, and there's only 2 that actually came back with a price. So both of them are on the lower end of the estimates of what it was going to cost. So I'm fairly confident that it's a good price to do the work. One thing I neglected to put in here on the summary was the hopper was at $51,620.50, and the second quote was $59,500. So there's about 7,000 and change difference in the 2 of them. So I would recommend that we go with Hopper or Seaforth to do the work. He's done work for us before, and I have no problems that he's capable and will do a good job.
You're moving the recommendation, Brock?
Right.
Bill seconding it. Any further questions or comments, Ray?
Yeah, Don, now, this isn't a test, we're not doing the test well now, this is gonna be the real well.
Yeah, so to drill a test well, it has to be basically constructed as a real well. And the difference in cost between doing a test well, like we are taking a bit of a leap of faith there, but the test well was, I think it was 25,000 would do the test well, and then if everything was favorable, then you jump in and then you have the cost of doing an 8-inch well as well. So, and an 8-inch well constructed is 33,000. So, talking with all of the drillers, actually, they all were confident that there's the way the bedrock is structured around here, that you would have a very good chance of hitting a well, like hitting fractures in the bedrock that would give you a good well. So we skipped the test well.
So this well, we had a meeting one day there, this well, it doesn't go down, it goes down the ball diamond there at the center gate, no?
No, it'll be on the north.
It goes on north.
On the north lot. Okay. It'll be on the southeast or southwest corner of the north lot.
Okay, yeah, I understand. Okay, thank you.
Okay. James?
And you will be using stainless steel casing?
That is what I would recommend. We've got 2 wells currently. One of them was the 1973 well in Blythe, and that is the point that it is probably going to fail, is the casing itself. It's just where the level of the water is pumps it down, and there's always that level where it's wet, dry, and so stainless, you get completely away from that. It should last forever.
Okay. And no further questions, all in favor? Carried. Thank you, Don. Moving to Director of Recreation and Facilities, on rates and fees.
Thank you. So I'm looking for a resolution from council, a motion for the council of North Huron to approve the revision to Schedule H of the fees bylaw effective January 1st, 2015. So the recreation facilities fees fall as Schedule H in the overall bylaw, and we're proposing these as the new rates and fees for 2015. In order for us to start giving notification to our members, also to sign our rental contracts into next year, and advertising our new rates. Our Rec and Leisure Guide will be coming out in December. We would like council to consider these rates and fees and approve them for the 2015 year. The ice rates will increase in the fall, so we set our ice rates for the ice season, so they go September through to March. So the ice rates to March 2015 have been set. Otherwise, all the rates will begin January 1st, 2015. And most of the rates have been adjusted with a 2.5% increase, which is taken from the Consumer Price Index for Ontario, August to August 2013 to 14. So that's a real brief summary of all of those pages of rates and fees which I have presented.
Bailey? And Bud? Any discussion? Campbell?
Do you have any comparison rates, like as compared to other people, or I know we've started tuition years, we've reached hours on more. How do we compare with comparing apples to apples? Are we in the middle, are we high, or are we low?
In ice rates and such, we're in the middle. If we were to look at halls, that's a challenge because every hall and every community is different kitchen, different capacities and things. So that is one that is challenging, but we're still, it's very difficult to compare that. Swimming lessons, and pool rates and stuff like that, we are I would say average to high for swimming lessons, but we're indoors, we're in a controlled environment, we're offering them all year long. But we're a lot less than if you go somewhere like Elmira where they're almost $100 for a lesson. So we're very fair, and we do regular comparisons through our SWORFA group. We all share the rates and fees, and I would be redlining something that did not fall within what we would consider the middle.
Okay, thank you, Pat. Anything else? All in, wait. For that?
Yes?
Yeah. All in favor? Carried. Okay. Okay, moving to Public Works. Kelly?
This is just a follow-up monthly report, if there's any questions. Be a long winter.
Well, this is it. Nothing tomorrow, we're done.
Put that in writing.
Okay. Well, can I have a motion to accept it? Moving to Director of Fire and Emergency Services.
Just a handful of things. You have my report. Just so the media is aware, council I'm sure is already aware, our reports will be on the second meeting of every month. So in terms of schedule, that's when we're slotted. I want to highlight just a few things to report. Just before Thanksgiving, our fire department completed our vent enter, isolate, and search training. And basically what that is when you watch movies, you see the people, the firefighters run through the front door, go upstairs, rescue the people, and away they go. In the world we're in today, that doesn't work. And what we've done is we have completed training with all of our personnel, and vent enter, isolate, search is a very aggressive, very quick search of high probability rooms where somebody might be trapped. Where basically our firefighters put a ladder against the window, bust the window, go in without a hose, close the door, search the room, and back out again in under about 90 seconds. And it's pretty impressive watching our guys do it. It took us about, you could say, 12 hours of training per man or per firefighter to get there. But in today's world, that's the kind of thing you have to do if you're going to affect outcomes. So kudos to our training officers and our firefighters for getting that, because it's just one more tool in our kit. You'll also notice that TAP-C, which is the Arson Prevention Program for Children, pretty much every jurisdiction in Ontario has this program available. Huron County did not. As of now, there are 3 of us that have this training, and basically it takes children that are known fire starters or fire setters and works with them on a highly successful rate of stopping that tendency and reducing the risk of harm to them or homes. So that's kind of cool. On the uncool side of things, September 1st we announced that we would go to zero tolerance for homes without working smoke alarms. We've given out 1,800 plus smoke alarms that our firefighters went door to door to install. We put in hundreds of batteries. We gave lots of advertising, lots of notice. And it took from September 1st to October 7th to have our first home we responded to with not a single working smoke alarm in the home. And if you don't have a working smoke alarm and you have a fire, you're dead. And that's just as simple as that. So it is what it is, but we're at it. One general comment, we continue to be busy and in many fronts. In the last 90 days, our firefighters have done more auto extrication than they have in the last 3 years. And there's no rhyme nor reason. There's not a little bit of weather, but a lot of the extrication we did was in perfectly sunny, clear days. So this year continues to be a year of sort of anomalies and odd numbers, but since basically the end of summer, we've been doing a lot of cutting people out of cars, and including again this afternoon. And it is what it is. The second part of my report I'd like you to have a look at is the Community Emergency Management Coordinator report. And part of the Emergency Management and Civil Protection Act is that North Huron has to do an annual emergency exercise and annual training. Original hope was to do this in September, sort of before we get into the fall rush and stuff, and then with staff changes and so forth, it was decided to move it until after the elections. Proposing a date of December 1st for the annual exercise in the morning works well with Maitland Valley Conservation Authority, who are doing the exercise, and it will be a flood-based exercise reflecting changes on Josephine Street and what that may or may not mean in terms of floodwaters in our municipality. You see the list of people involved in it. It's actually fairly significant. This will be a similar exercise to what I participated with Morris Turnberry in last week. Really good exercise, and I know Pauline and Denny were there, and it's a well-done exercise. And for the new councillors, if you're able to attend or watch, it might be an eye-opener. If the 1st of December is not a preferred date, bear in mind that we have to have this completed by December 31st. So I'll put that out to council's direction and discussion as to whether that be accepted or if there's an alternate date, fire away.
The one thing I'll say is that the more councillors that can attend, the better, because if you have an emergency, you need people to be able to spell off other people in some of the roles, and that for just the clearer understanding, and that basically the elected people officially are number one, but you have to ask your professionals in the different fields for very good recommendations on how to do it. And that both in 2011, when I was warden, and 2012, that I was officially head of the county emergency measures exercise, so that I really believe it's a good thing if you can make it. Thank you. Hope you didn't mind me speaking to
absolutely.
From that, David.
But if December 1st is not a suitable date or not as a desired date for council, basically sometime between there and Christmas, we'd like to get it buttoned up and open it to alternative suggestions.
I would just point out that they won't have been sworn in, so they may not have the ability to learn.
Oh, I think they've learned all kinds of stuff.
I think
they maybe know more of it than us.
Trevor has had his eyes open just in the last while.
Last 20 minutes.
I can see him looking at his BlackBerry, his schedule, just shaking his head.
James?
David, you'll send us an email then?
I'll send you out an email
okay, good.
To that effect.
Did you have something, Bill, or?
No, I prefer a different date, but that's all right. I mean, what would the time parameters be for that?
Starts at 9:30 in the morning and finished at lunch.
See what the consensus is.
And that would be the extent of my report.
Thank you. Is there any unfinished business? Is there any new business? Okay, we'll go to council information. The Game and Watch file and Wingham Area Health Professionals recruitment as two topics. Anything in them, or do you want to use the council agreed correspondence be ordered, read and filed? Bodden and Campbell, all in favor? Carried. Okay. And there's correspondence available at clerk's office. What is council's pleasure on that?
Motion to read and file.
Okay, Campbell and Hallahan. All in favor? Carried. Okay. There's committee reports, Blythe VIA, November 5th meeting, and the next meeting's December 3rd. Anything to add, Bill, or just answer questions if there is any?
No, I just answer questions if anyone has any.
Okay. Thank you. Moving to Wingham BIA Executive. Anything, Bernie, or?
Just the fact that we're not gonna have the next meeting in the Blythe Memorial Community Center, we're gonna have it at the
Museum?
museum.
You're more than welcome to come.
Been to a few of them. I just might show up for the last one.
Okay, not seeing any questions. Moving to North Huron Police Services Board.
You have the October 21st minutes within your package. A couple items. The officers are continuing their annual use of force training up in Saugeen Shores, and that should be completed shortly. That's an annualized training that all police officers in the province are required to take. The overtime budget has taken some stress over the last little while with various incidents they've had to be dealt with, so that may be you may notice that at the end of the year. There was a short discussion about the ministry audit that will be taking place this spring, and the two criteria just escape me at the moment, but our advisor will be coming up, Dave Preston, to do that audit. Sometimes they come singly, sometimes they come to the advisors, and the police board will be taking care of that with, in conjunction with the police chief. If you have any other questions, I'll do my best to answer.
Could I just ask, Mr. McGowan, we're going to pass a bylaw here in a minute for the Ministry of Community Safety and Correctional Service. Can you talk about that now in your police board, or do we want to talk about that after we pass that?
We can talk about it when it comes to the passing of it. It might be, I mean, I can, or Kathy can provide information. It's a reimbursement fund for providing court security and protection. It's not much money, but we can deal with it now, or it's whatever you wish, Your Worship.
Well, we don't want to wait.
No, okay.
If you're willing to wait on the next topic, Bernie.
I've got all night.
Okay. And Wingham Area Health Professional Recruitment Committee. Any questions on that, or is the report self-explanatory? Okay. If there's no questions, well, we're moving on to bylaws. Bylaw number 81, 2014, being a bylaw to authorize the Regional Clerk or designate to sign an agreement with the Ministry of Community Safety and Correctional Services for the Court Security and Prisoner Transportation Program. Please?
First, second, and third.
Okay. Second. Do you want to explain, this is part of that long-awaited provincial money coming back to help municipalities that hold court?
Let Donna speak to it.
Okay, Donna?
So in North Huron, we incur both municipal policing and OPP policing for court security and prisoner transportation because the court is here. So our fellows come from next door, plus we have OPP here as well. So we receive funding from both Public Safety Division and the OPP, but the change this year is going to be that the OPP are going to administer that from now on. And so the wording is a little bit different. So for 2015, as Archie said, we're going to get a total of $1,149.58, and for 2016, we'll get $1,436.97. So we have to record those amounts separately, And there is forms that have to be filled in as part of the conditions of this agreement. So that's basically, it's not a lot of money, but that's what it's used to offset some of those costs.
Councilor McGowan?
Maybe to give Councilor Bailey a little bit of background, that this is something I think a little bit new. So typically, municipalities are required to fund court security, providing security during court days if they hold court. So if we had a major incident, like in Goderich, if we were situated in that and we had the larger court, we would be responsible for all the security costs that take place in those court. So it can run into substantial money. It does cost our police service money to provide security at the court. In a lot of municipalities, this has been a complaint for a great number of years because it is a monstrous expense in some cases to provide that security, as well as prisoner transportation, depending on what jails the prisoners have to be taken to. So AMO and the Ontario Association of Police Services Board have been complaining about this for quite some time, that it is a burden on local municipalities. So I think that's where this is coming from. It's not a lot of money, but it's certainly better than nothing.
I'll say it's finally started.
So my question would be then, if it costs us a lot of money for our staffing, whether it be OPP or local police, and this is to secure the court, if we're losing a lot of money on having the court here, and the court does cause a bit of a mess in our hallway and with our staff, can we just not have the court, save the money? You knew that was coming, didn't you?
Well, that question has come up a lot over the years, and I think there are ramifications to our police service also if the court were not to be here. So obviously, if court was held in another jurisdiction, there would be still expenses incurred for us, not only for the police officers to attend court, but prisoner transportation costs may be higher. There's a lot of different factors that play into that. Mayor Fernigan, you're not the first one to have asked that. I think we've asked that over the course of 20 years too.
Okay. Thank you.
Just vote on it now. All in favor? Carried. Okay. Bylaw number 82, 2014, being a bylaw to authorize the regional clerk to, or designate to sign an infrastructure grant of easement with Her Majesty the Queen in right of Ontario, as represented by the Minister of Infrastructure, as represented by Ontario Infrastructure and Lands Corporation. Donna, do you want to explain a little bit about this?
Probably Dawn would be better at go through that one.
So what this has to do with is the easement for the storm sewer in Blythe. We got the environmental site assessment done, which was a requirement for them to entertain the thought of an easement, and the 30-day or 60-day notice period has come and gone with no objections to it, so they sent us paperwork. And
this is what held us up all summer long, was we couldn't pass through that piece of property in order to do it internally. So if we can get this signed off, and if the funding does come down, we're ready to go.
Brock?
Is that because the infrastructure went under a building?
No, it went across the old railway lands that are owned by the province.
I realize that, but I thought there was some connection with the building there. No?
No,
No, I got wrong.
the infrastructure that's in place right now happens to go on the corner of their property.
oh, yes, yeah, the current storm.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, sorry, yeah. Just to correct that.
No.
Okay, Hallahan and McGowan. All in favor? Carried. Moving to council reports and inquiries. Councilor McGowan.
Well, I guess since this is my last meeting, I just wanted to say a couple of things. I wanted to first of all, thank my family for putting up with us for 20 years, 18 of which serving, but 20 years in total. Missed a lot of family events and ball games and different things, so thank you to them. I want to thank the public. Been pretty honored to serve, pretty lucky. And to those that supported me, and even those that didn't, thank you. It's been a real honor. It's been a real learning experience, and I've enjoyed it immensely. Lastly, I thank the staff. I've said a number of times that I think we have the best staff in the county, and it just goes without saying. Being a municipal staff member is no easy job. You take a lot of grief, and the public doesn't have the knowledge about a lot of the things and requirements that the province foists upon you that you have to deal with. But you take the brunt of it on behalf of the province in a lot of cases. So thank you. Whether it's the girls at the counter or the water department or the rec department, you all take your share of grief at times. And there's always room for improvement, but I think for the most part we're pretty lucky. And so I want to thank the staff. To the new councillors, I'd say you'll do fine. Educate yourselves as best you can, and don't be afraid to change your mind if new information comes around. You'll do well. And I'd encourage anybody to do this. I was 25 when I. It's a lifetime ago.
So was I.
Oh, I know. Funny, you look younger than I do. I'd encourage everybody. I was looking back through notes of things that I kept from the first time I ran, and I was scared to death. And one thing I'd written down that everybody can make a difference, and everyone should try in their community. And I'm a firm believer in that. North Huron's pretty lucky. We're pretty lucky to live here. We got a lot of great amenities, and we need to do a great, job in promoting it. And every community's got its problems that it needs to work on. This community's no different. And so thank you for allowing me to participate. And also goes without saying, I've been very fortunate to deal and work with a number of really great councils, and this one included. And that helps the whole entire community. It really does. The relationship that goes on around this table is what projects the direction that we'll go on with in the community. So to all those that I've been fortunate enough to work with in the past and now, thank you.
Thank you for all those comments. I can concur on all of them. And definitely thank you for your diligence, lending your expertise, especially in human resources, and that end where you have really shone in providing leadership for us. Thank you very much. And it's no easy task spending best part of 2 decades basically with a target on your back in case you make the wrong decision once. You have to learn to be able to let a bunch of the things run off, but the thing that is, I think all of us have a number of those things that we're pretty proud that we got done, that we made it a better community. And so definitely on my part, if there's other councillors who want to make comment at this time, I'll take. Brock.
I'd just like to thank you, Archie, for what we've learned from you and the experience that you've helped us with. I think we're much the better for it. You'll be missed, but I'm sure that others will step forward and fill that void. Thanks very much.
Bill?
As I said, in addition to Archie and put in a long time, a lot of work and effort. I think we should also thank Bernie for although it was a short term, for his service as well on the council. Wish him the best. And feel free to join the public gallery so we have some input.
When there's nothing on TV.
Please, this is actually much more.
I can watch from home now. I don't need to come.
But I want you here in person. If you can, that's one problem with that. We don't have interactive broadcast.
Well, you needn't worry. If there's something that I feel like to speak of, I'll come.
You'll come. We appreciate that. You too, Bernie.
Bernie?
Arch, I'd just like to say, I think you got on council about the time my mom was getting off.
Yeah.
And we spent a couple
I had
years.
more hair back then.
And then you had to spend time with me, but it's been an honor working with you. You're going to be missed. There's no way around it. I won't go on and on and on, but I want to thank you for your time, and I'm sure the entire town does.
Well, from my perspective, I want to thank you as well, Bernie. 4 years that we went through a lot of stuff. And, like I said, we've got a lot done in the last 4 years. So thank you very much for your efforts, the way you've dug into projects. So thank you.
If everybody's done commenting with Archie, I'd like to say a few things.
Go ahead.
Are you good, Jim? Do you want to say that?
Well, Archie and I came on to go down in amalgamation together, and we both have been on previous councils before that. We've learned a lot of things. We haven't always agreed.
No.
But when we've left here, we've always agreed with what the decisions have been made. We've always respected each other, and I do respect you, Archie, for what you have brought to the table.
All the best.
Did you want to say anything to Arch before I
Well,
start?
I want to say something to both of you guys.
Okay.
Just
We're
thanks a
nuts.
lot. I think I learned a lot from both of you. There's a lot of good input in here. We weren't always on the same base, but
We're not supposed to be.
we're not supposed to be. Thank you very much, both of you.
Don't mind, I'd just like to say, I don't know where the 4 years have gone. I'm just getting revved up. Just getting started. Quite often I'd be asked, because we did have some quite the challenging conversations, and I am known to hold my ground, whether I'm right or wrong. And quite often I would be asked how I do it or why I stay with it. And I would always say the same thing over and over again. I get to look over my shoulder and I get to see what we have done as a council. I just want to point a few things out that we've done in this 4 years. We put together a strategic plan, and it was really needed. We facilitated the new school, which was great, and a hospital expansion. We did that, guys. We paid off the community complex 4 years ahead of time. We reduced the cost of operations, and thank you, Pat. We started 2 new BIAs. We signed long-term agreements with our neighbors for fire. We rebuilt and upgraded many buildings. We have agreements with the Legion that produced a profit for the Wingham Legion concerning our trailer park. We took the old cement block from the children's park and we made use of the park. We started the chip and tar roads. Many things that weren't being done. And I don't know councils before me, and I won't know councils after I go, but I want to say, guys, we did a good job. We as a team did a good job. And you're right, we didn't always agree, but we don't want to always agree, because if you're agreeing with everybody, you're a wallflower, and there's no room on council for wallflowers. I just want to turn to the 2 new councillors and say good luck. No, I'm going to take that back. I'm not going to wish you good luck. You're in a leadership position, lead. Do your homework, listen to others around you, and have a great 4 years. And I want to thank everybody. Jim? You didn't get a chance to hear me ruffle your feathers.
Oh, hey, I was here, sitting in the back.
It's just the way I do it, guys. It's my last
We know
song.
it's okay.
Thanks a lot. Oh, I still got my signs. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Hey, Ryan, you revved up. That's my 80s lingo. Thanks a lot.
That's brilliant.
Thank you. You guys, the best of luck. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for everything. We didn't get to see it, but it was okay. You can miss the bed.
Heard enough stories.
Zing! Thank you,
Any other comments or inquiries? Okay, basically, the CAO's report, basically, over the Ontario West Municipal Conference, December 12th in London, and it just recognize the importance of a positive relationship, especially between North Huron and especially the local municipal affairs and housing office in London and the people that work for us from that office. So that it's basically, she's encouraging.
I just wanted to make note of those who are planning to attend the meeting.
Do you want to
Is that, maybe it's not necessary.
names now of the ones that know they want to go?
I'm attending.
Bill?
Yeah.
Ray?
Send us the information.
Okay, yeah, you'll get the information and you can get back to us.
That's what we'll do.
Okay, so you would like us to register?
Yes.
You can draw straws, you can crash.
So, with that, we go to public gallery questions.
Come on, Daddy.
Come on,
Let her rip.
I don't have any questions. Because I'm gonna get a lot of questions over my 4 years.
You think so?
Yes.
The revenge.
Great difference from asking them and answering them.
Well,
Because no one been talking for an hour, there's nothing.
So let's rephrase that, Denny. There's nothing worthwhile for you to comment on, is that, or ask a question about, is that what you're?
Sir, I guess
Trevor.
I will comment. I will comment that, you know, I've listened to a lot of things in this room over the last year and a half, and there has been a lot of information, whether good, bad, or indifferent, but it's information. And like Archie said, a lot of the day-to-day public doesn't understand what goes on in this room and how critical it is for people to truly understand what it means to be a municipal councillor, a public person, a leader. And I take full thanks to both Bernie and Archie and all the councillors that, not even in North Huron, that do this for 4 years, because it's a major 20 years or whatever. It's a major commitment, and it's people have to look at themselves when they ask a question or have an issue, and look at themselves honestly and say, if I have a problem, can these people help me with that problem? And if I'm just doing it because I want an issue and barrack, maybe I should put my money where my mouth is and run, because it's not easy. Nobody does it in this room for fame. You do it for the right reasons. So again, on behalf of myself, I want to say thanks to Archie, because he's been a mentor to me, and Bernie, you've been giving me lots of information too, and I want to say thank yous to both of you, because I would say I wouldn't have done it without knowing a lot of the information I've got from everybody in this room. So that's just on behalf of myself and my family. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move confirm. I seen a pen up there. Was that for a question?
Oh, no.
Just like the auctioneer, get somebody with a hand up or something.
You just bought it.
No, we'll move to confirmatory bylaw. Not obtainable. All in favor? Carried. So, next meeting will be Monday, December 1st, 2014 at 7 o'clock, North Huron Council Chambers.
Move that we adjourn.
I'll adjourn.
There you go.
Well, I was going to take Callahan and Bodger from that, but
It's okay, it's okay. The last day.
Ernie and our all of them.
It doesn't work.
Okay, we're adjourned.